So example number 7 from our Precalculus textbook. What we need to do is there's an expression and we're asked to write a mathematical expression that defines the following statement. The distance between x and -3 is less than 9. And so when we think of a number line, somewhere on the number line there's this number -3, and it says the distance between x and 3. Now, does it tell us where x is? No, so we don't know where x is. X could be here. Heck, we don't know. X could be here. We don't know. So what we need to do is determine what those values, those boundaries, the upper and lower boundaries of that particular parameter is going to be. Now, the best or the easiest way to do that mathematically is through an absolute value. Remember, we said that an absolute value is the distance from something, right? So one way to do that is I could say x minus -3 is less than 9, okay? Or the absolute value of x minus -3 is less than 9. So when you minus a minus, it becomes a plus. And I'll make my absolute value brackets a little thicker so you could tell that they're not just ones, is less than 9. Now that's it for now. Okay? Just to give you an idea though, if we wanted to solve what those parameters would be, we would simply consider -9 and +9. Okay. And then when we subtract 3 from all three sides, we get -12 is less than x less than 6. But that's not in your notes. Oh, probably can't see that. Does that make sense? Okay. Problem or example number 8. You're given a triangle that contains 3 points, the point -3, 4, 5, 4, and 1, 0. All right? And we want to know, is this a right triangle? Now that means that this should be a 90-degree angle. Now if you look at the picture, what do we know about right triangles and the longest side? What do we call that? Hypotenuse. So we should be able, for example, I might call this A and B and C. And what's the relationship between A, B, and C on a right triangle? Absolutely correct. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So I just need to find what? I just need to find the distance. The distance from this point to this point is the length of the side A. And so I'm just going to plug in the numbers. It would be -3, -1 squared plus 4 minus 0 squared. So A would equal, if you crank through the math, that would be 32. Now if I do the same thing for B, I'm just going to plug in the numbers. 1 minus 5, and that's the distance between this point and this point. So I've got 1 minus 5 squared plus 0 minus 4 squared, and again, if we crank through the numbers, I get the square root of 32. And now to find the distance C from this point to this point, I use the distance formula, and I'm just going to plug in the numbers. -3 minus 5 squared plus 4 minus 4 squared. And if you crank through the math, that's actually the square root of 64, which is equal to 8. Okay? And so if I were to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I would say the square root of 32 squared plus the square root of 32 squared, oops, my plus sign got lost in the shuffle, should equal 8 squared. Well, when you square root, what happens? They undo each other, so I get 32 plus 32 should equal 64. Is that true? Yep, so this is a right triangle, yes. It is a right triangle.